anonymous, and name that strikes fear into the hearts of millions. This group of elite hackers has brought down governments, exposed corporate corruption, and made billions of dollars worth of companies pay up. In the late 1980s, he was the #1 federal fugitive in the FBI's top 10 most wanted list. He is considered the father of modern hacking, and has been portrayed in several movies. One of the most famous scenes from the movie depicts him dancing with a bunch of flashing screens around him. They knew that he was a threat and they didn't want him to cause any trouble, so they put a lot of pressure on Kevin to stay away from computers and hacking. He agreed and became one of the most successful cybercrime consultants in the industry. He's not just a hacker and consultant, he's also an author and speaker. He has written several books about hacking and has spoken at some of the most prestigious conferences in the world. He's also a master of technology. He knows how to exploit vulnerabilities in computer systems and how to get around security measures. In 2013, Yahoo was hacked and over 3 billion user accounts were compromised. In 2014, Sony Pictures was hacked by a group of North Korean hackers. The motive behind the attack was to retaliate against the movie The Interview, which was a comedy about the assassination of Kim Jong-un, the leader of North Korea. He is still considered one of the most dangerous hackers in the world, and his name strikes fear into the hearts of millions. Kevin allegedly helped the North Korean hackers and was paid millions of dollars for his services. This was one of the most expensive hacks in history, and it cost Sony Pictures over $30 million. This group of elite hackers has taken down governments, exposed corporate corruption, and made billions of dollars worth of companies pay up. Instead, members come and go as they please and operate independently of each other. This makes Anonymous extremely difficult to track and even impossible to stop. They don't care about borders or laws, and they will stop at nothing to expose the truth. This was one of the biggest hacks in history, and it's believed that Kevin was involved. When the FBI was closing in on him, he would disappear and reappear somewhere else. In 2015, they hacked into the group's Twitter account and released sensitive information. However, it is known that members come from all over the world and from all walks of life. Many are highly skilled hackers with years of experience. Others are simply people who are fed up with the status quo and want to make a change. The truth is that there is 100% foolproof way to do so. The group is too decentralized and too skilled to be stopped. However, there are some steps that you can take to reduce your risk. First, make sure that you have strong passwords and that you don't reuse them across multiple accounts. This will help to ensure that your accounts are secure, even if your passwords are stolen. Second, be careful what you click on and what you download. Hackers often use social engineering techniques to trick people into giving them access to their systems. So, be wary of any emails or messages that seem suspicious. Finally, make sure that you have a reliable internet connection and that you use a VPN when connecting to public Wi-Fi networks. This will help to ensure that your data is safe, even if you are using a public network. In 2011, they took down the website of the Church of Scientology, one of the most secretive organizations in the world. The group also hacked into the email account of Scientology leader David Miscavige and released thousands of emails to the public. They don't care about power or money, and they will stop at nothing to expose the truth. This exposed the inner workings of the organization and gave the world a glimpse into the mind of its leader. The group stole unreleased movies, confidential emails, and other data and released it to the public. They have taken down governments, exposed corporate corruption, and made billions of dollars worth of companies pay up. If you want to learn more about Anonymous and their activities, make sure to stay up to date on the latest news and events, and be sure to follow us for more updates. This was in retaliation for the release of the movie The Interview, which portrayed the assassination of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. He was like a ghost, and it seemed like he was untouchable. They have taken their attacks to the next level by targeting government websites and data. In 2012, they hacked into the website of the Tunisian Ministry of Defense and released the personal information of thousands of government officials. This was in response to the Tunisian government's crackdown on but in the end, he was caught, and it was only a matter of time before justice caught up with him. He was never charged, but many experts believe that he was the mastermind behind the attack. They also launched a DDoS attack against the bank, which made it impossible for customers to access their accounts. This means that he can hack into systems that most people would think are secure. He's even broken into the computer systems of the Pentagon and NASA. He's even been featured on TV shows like The Today Show and Good Morning America. He has helped the FBI catch hundreds of hackers, and has been involved in some of the biggest cybercrime cases in history. But Kevin couldn't resist, and he eventually went back to his old ways. He started working for a company called Sun Microsystems, and used their computers to hack into other systems. He was able to steal software code and sell it to the highest bidder. The Lazarus Group. This group of North Korean hackers is responsible for some of the most devastating attacks in recent history. In 2017, they hacked into the computer system of the National Football Federation and stole $2 million. This was one of the biggest sports betting scandals in history, and it shook the football world to its core. He also hacked into the computer system of the New York Stock Exchange and made a small fortune. And it's pretty fitting because the real Kevin Mitnick is kind of like a human computer virus. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison, but only served 22 months before being released early. Even after being released, Kevin was still under the FBI's watch, and he was not allowed to use computers. But this didn't stop him from hacking. He developed a new technique that allowed him to hack into systems without using a computer. He would simply use his cell phone and social engineering to get the information he needed. He's smart, fast, and hard to stop once he gets inside your system. But who are they and how do they do it? You'll be shocked by what these cyber warriors are capable of. It's his unique combination of skills. He's a master of social engineering, which means he can trick people into doing things that they wouldn't normally do. For example, he once called up a major airline and pretended to be a mechanic. He told the airline that there was a bomb on board one of their flights and that it would explode if they didn't do what he said. The airline believed him and grounded all of their flights. This caused chaos and cost the airline millions of dollars. But Kevin had done it again. He had used his skills to make a major company pay up. Kevin Mitnick, one of the most wanted men in America. It all started when Kevin was just a kid. He would sneak into his dad's office at night and play games on his mainframe computer. The problem was he got good at it. So good that he was able to break into the computer systems of Pacific Bell and Digital Equipment Corporation. In 1988, he was finally caught and sentenced to 4 years in prison. But even behind bars, he continued hacking. He managed to break into the computer system of the FBI and get his hands on some sensitive data. This included social security numbers, credit card numbers, and even passwords. He was able to do this by exploiting a vulnerability in the system that allowed him to guess passwords without getting caught. He also used social engineering techniques to trick people into giving him the information he needed. He was only 16 years old at the time, so instead of going to jail, Kevin went to a juvenile facility where he was taught a trade. They were hoping that learning a trade would keep him out of trouble. But little did they know that Kevin wasn't interested in fixing computers. He was interested in breaking them. He spent the next few years honing his skills and building a reputation as one of the best hackers in the world. When Kevin was released from prison in 1992, he was under close watch by the FBI. In 1995, Kevin was arrested again, and this time he was charged with 17 counts of fraud and computer crime. In the early 2000s, Kevin was approached by the FBI and asked to help them catch some of the most dangerous hackers in the world. But there's more to Kevin than meets the eye. So what makes Kevin so special? What is it about him that makes him one of the most dangerous hackers in the world? But it's not just social engineering that makes Kevin so dangerous. One of the most famous hacks that Kevin was involved in was the hacking of Yahoo. Another famous hack that Kevin was involved in was the hacking of Sony Pictures. The thing about Kevin Mitnick is that he's always one step ahead of the authorities. Today, Kevin Mitnick lives a quiet life, away from the media spotlight, but his legacy lives on. Now let's talk about another group of hackers that have been making headlines recently. The Lazarus Group is also believed to be behind the 2014 hack of Sony Pictures, which resulted in the theft of 100 terabytes of data. If you thought Anonymous was scary, wait till you hear about the Anonymous Group. Formed in the early 2000s, Anonymous is a decentralized group of hackers, meaning that there is no central organization or leader. Over the years, Anonymous has carried out some truly remarkable hacks. But Anonymous is not just a group of keyboard warriors. Anonymous has also targeted banks and financial institutions. In 2015, they hacked into the website of the HDFC Bank, one of the largest banks in India, and stole customer data. But perhaps the most famous attack carried out by Anonymous was the hack of Sony Pictures in 2014. So who are the members of Anonymous? Because of the decentralized nature of the group, there is no official membership list. What makes Anonymous so dangerous is the fact that they are not afraid to speak out against anyone. So what can you do to protect yourself from Anonymous? Anonymous is a group of elite hackers who are not afraid to take on anyone.